I've got to try the dry. I've got to.
I asked Bill the other day and he said he hadn't tried
Put a little white W.
Put a bit of a taper on the end of it if you want.
Well, I've been a cantankerous bugger all day, so what should I change now?
he could have streamed the flies, but
Well, that all started not so much as a mess. That all started with a wee creek hopper.
Yeah.
And the wee creek hopper is a little, really simple little grasshopper fly that we might tie one in a minute just to show everybody. But it's tied with a single point of attachment. The size of the hook is irrelevant to the fly. You can tie a size 12 fly on a size 18 hook if you want to, or you can tie a size 12 fly on a size 2.0 hook. Because all the materials are tied in at the same place and in an area that's, only 3 or 4 millimeters of shred wraps, the hook is completely irrelevant to the fly. Unlike most flies where the hook is the chassis, here the hook is nothing more than the bit that you tie your leader to and you hook the fish with, and the fly is just a hitchhiker. The wee creek hopper's just a really simple little grasshopper fly, but it's not really a hopper, it's just food. So we start off with a foam cylinder. We've got some thread on our hook, and you'll see the foam cylinders. When you tie foam to the hook, you put your first wrap on and it pulls down tight. You put your next wrap on and it pulls down tighter, so the first one becomes loose. You put your next wrap on and it pulls down tighter, your next one becomes loose, and so on. That's why it's really hard to get foam to actually stick to the hook. So what I've actually done here beforehand is I've creased that, weakened it, run it through. Well, I usually use a fingernail, but I've used the side of my scissors there. So it's got that break in it. You can see where it thins down. So that's where we tie it in. So it's not getting thinner each time.
Yeah, you're not trying to compress the whole thing in.
Yeah, it's already basically compressed for you. So we just tie a foam in like that. Now to put a taper on the front, just snip that, put a taper on the back, just snip that. So when you look at it there, you get a nice little taper on each end of the foam. Now this is just a bit of poly yarn for the wing. So we tie that facing out the front, tie it down 3 to 4 wraps, snip that bit off, pull all this back and tie over it. That way the wing's locked in, it's not going to go anywhere. Now we just use little barred rubber legs. Just tie them in any old how. At the moment, don't care what they look like. Doesn't really matter because we're going to change them. Tie them one in on each side. Oops. So how we change them, it's with the rubber. When you pull it, it becomes finer, so you can position it where you want it to be and then let it go. And then pull it, position it to where you want it to be and let it go. So there are our legs. Now we're just going to put a little strike indicator on, which is just a little bit of orange foam. Tie that in there and snip him off. And now we can whip finish the fly under the foam down here. Always happens, doesn't it? When you've got people or a camera, things go wrong. So then we can just trim our legs to whatever length we want them. We'll say about there and there and there and there. Always like the back ones a little bit longer, and then just trim our wing to roughly what we want. Put a bit of a taper on the end of it if you want to. And that's just our very basic little hopper fly that works extremely well. And as you can see, very, very simple to tie. That's it.